currently value a thing ha re sa bona ile teng ka gore o isa ngwana wa 12 years wa moshimane, and then ha boa kwa dilo tsa ithutileng tsona benefit the society, because some things I don't think they are benefiting us, because you look at the behavior. Majority, if boys, they will start smoking, going after girls, drinking. Girls will start experimenting with older men, because girls normally you won't date your age. So to date about 17, 18. That's why we have these challenges. So able to talk, but I don't know how we can manage it, because you want pregnancy now, it's worse, it's STIs and
so
all.
There are cultures who do not have a girl.
I've not heard of it, unless I think the Zulus, Xhosas, they do have, but I don't know with the women. Maradiko thing. So with women, you need a man for, if that was the role of the men. Because if the role is to provide, and when I way above that men, so what do you need him for? If it was for security, then you see the times have changed. So we also have to relearn what we. Well, I'm from Hamaskral. I think I must highlight that part.
Yo.
Yeah, so this way Mavuso started.
Mashane politically incorrect rukhumane ntsako fumani once again utla re botsa gore ke ena among to those who do not know him, so he reintroduces himself, so we see gore re bolela le man those who don't remember him. He said he's going to come back, he's going to explain further about other topics, and in particular Ulwaluko Koma. You can see he has started with his with his bruise, and then who's Fuman? Please lead us and then explain these colors and who are you, where you from?
All right, Jim Fuman Koporo, Shigalabanda, Mambaya Bukari, Imhlabe, Ematola Rishile Mahula Kutla Wafara Ungonyo Waka Swisanka Imkensa Kule, Wakatula Nkomoni Mzugitatola, Wakunonatana Basini, Etatola Tsumani, Wakashi Gombe Shola Kutla Shula Nonyana, Imhlabe, Manganio Babela Mabunzin. Wamarakula makudio ala kutsama yala bakutuntlama ya singita bano mabusa ni tongo nyinhlalu kwini intukulu waka magoda waka manganyi lava ya bari pinda ro phasa umur phasa na role vanyimba ka mari vatsi va ka rimondo rin'we to muta no va tinyari intukulu waka hlungwa vukosi ndzilo va dzambala va masungula ya kufuma a kuya hi vulandza intukulu wa van'wanati va ka tindlovhatilo va ndilo vana mixakwa va kotlani ku tlanga va rhandza ku tovana va xinyela babeni matota ti hukela marihlelo va diva bango van'wanati va ka timambatelo vani tilo vana micila imhlabe emabunda ye muphati munhu lo a rhandzaka ndhavuko wa Xitsonga hi nga vula leswaku i ambassador ya Vatsonga wa ririmi ra Xitsonga na ndhavuko wa Vatsonga khalabzalo veri hi explainer mihlovo leyi ya hina ya Vatsonga ya ti peacock, colorful bright colors yo mihlovo leyi ya Vatsonga vanhu lavo saseka ya ye.
Thank you. So you could not give me the gene last time, so I'm sorry what you are sorting there. Oh, this one is mine. All right, sharp. Let me put it next to me. So I can make them. I can make them envy me more. All right. Let's talk. Topic number one, the one that you left, so we could not discuss. I was hosting Sepedi, cultural enthusiast, Ntate Johnny Muhlala. He spoke of how when they were under siege in in a cave, there were Pedi and Amandebele. They had to intermingle and share cultures, and among the things that they shared was the custom of Koma. And those things are so interlinked, even modern day, they still happen interlinked. He in fact said, Amandebele abana koma ya bona ba itjere ka Sepedi ibile ba dira koma ya Sepedi. Of course it always, like everything, you come to the show, if you say something that whether it's true or not, whether someone they say you are lying.
That's true.
So people, they don't advance information disputing his, they just say he's lying. So have you read anything in line with that? Do you understand these cultures? Because after this Kinyakore retware ya isiZulu, because at some point they left it. Yeah, I just want you to let's start
my
with this
understanding ke hore Koma mo setsong sa ma Africa ke khale eleting. So ke nahana ka kitsonyana ya ka e potlana tinshaka leti hinkwato leti a ti ri na ngoma ko va ku loko ti century ka ti famba van'wani va vuye va tshika ku fana na xikombiso xexo nyika ku xa maZulu hi mhaka enkarhi ya tinyimpi va vona ku hi ta luza masocha se kambe hina la ka hina yi kona ngoma la ka Vatsonga and then i xiphemu xikulu xa ndhavuko wa hina. So nkoka wa kona na sweswi wa ha ri kona, it's just a swa ha fani na khale. So hi nga vula leswaku khale a swi ri na nkoka ku ri wanuna a ya ngomeni hikuva wanuna ye murhangeri a ku laveka masocha. So that's where you build character, you learn how to hunt, you learn teamwork, you learn how to protect your family and yourself. So that's where you build character. Bareke bonna uyo thopala bonna kere. Yeah, so it has been a very important cultural activity in ya Vatsonga. Ya ngoma na khomba as well, ya basadi khomba lerking e wona ka se
but abareke di khopa. Yeah, something like that.
So these things, remember, that's why age it matters, because you maturing to manhood.
That's why the rite of passage from boys to men.
So my issue was currently value thing haresa bona ile teng ka gore o isa ngwana wa 12 years wa moshimane, and then ha boa kwa dilo tsa ithutileng tsona tsela, I think information high tlhoke at that age as a le ko sekolong a kere khale 15 16 setse le first line of defense le bo mapulandlela ho ya ntweng ba bya lena. So you need those courageous young men who are ready for manhood. But now at 13 you're still at school, so ba go ruta ka bonna, ba go ruta dilo tsotsotletse o phela le banna kwa, o ithuta sekerete, o ithuta byala, o ithuta ka mosadi because inside there. So at that age, so hobo, I've seen it with my peers resa hola ka bo di 90s, ka bo 93 94 ba tswa coming. Then you start experimenting now with women, you start smoking, you start drinking because of the influence and the conditioning that now the experience at your age you are not ready for that.
Yeah.
So the same applies to women komba. Look ya kombeni eva edonzisiwa ku se e wansati kumbe you are maturing to womanhood. So ya ku dyondzisiweni hi ku nwingi i tikhomisa ku yini abukatini, makoti u itshwara yang ko lenyalong ko bogadi na ku wanuna wa we unghlayisisa ku yini, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your husband and your in-laws and the respect. So it builds character as well, because o tshwanetse khona o tshwara thipa ka bohaleng se ai akaba basati kambe kuna that issue ya masangu leko ba fane ba dyondza tikhomba leti hikusi se munhu I ready ku ya tekiwa So we don't know 13 years how to satisfy a man. And then Motosa go middle school. Is it middle school at the age 13?
Just entering.
Yeah. So
entering.
that information, that person is not ready for, is still in school. So homework, how to satisfy a man. Because there it has value, because 15, 14, 15, 16, you could get married. Already, yeah, there it served the purpose. But now, what purpose does it serve at that age? Because when you get out of there, what how do you do 1, 2, 3? Then where are you going to use that information? You start experimenting with boys. That's why we have these teenage pregnancies. So culture is culture, but also I think we have to move with the times and see what really we have to cut, what will benefit the society, because some things I don't think they are benefiting us, because you look at the behavior. Majority, if boys, they will start smoking, going after girls, drinking. Girls will start experimenting with older men, because girls normally you won't date your age. So to date about 17, 18. That's why we have these challenges. So able to talk, but I don't know how we can manage it, because you binzu currently. Because if we had an age like Mandebele, bana age yokare, yako maybe 16, 17. So you are at least a matured age. So it serves the purpose there maybe. But with us currently, especially in Limpopo, 12 years, 10 years, hey guys, yeah, so that's a serious challenge for me. But it has been that time. As to now, I don't know.
In South Africa, we've got what we call age of consent, which is 16 years old. So age of consent, a human being is regarded by law or a consent intercourse. Yes, a consent during intercourse can be sustained in law, in court. So, kiona age of consent. As a cultural activist, you are expected by other cultural people to not downplay anything that is cultural. Even if Rabon or this thing is bad, they expect of you to be true to culture and even defend Masawana within culture just because you want to prove yourself as a cultural activist.
Yeah.
So I want to understand, one of the things we spoke about in the previous podcast, one of the things that is plaguing you is they want you to look away when something like this happens. The stuff that we're going to talk about, we said, are they not going to come after you saying that dilo tša komeng a di bolelwe? So look, does it disorganize you? Does it, there are certain people in your fan base who would see you as a traitor because now you are speaking about things outside to outsiders, things inside thing to outsiders. Does it give you a challenge?
No, not at all. This weight. But for me, I believe culture evolves. You have to move with the time. Look at so Leona culture but some of the things because of the so you have to always evolve. So dress code then culturally would wear 1, 2, 3. So because I'm a cultural activist, I must now wear those things. Even so you have to look at or omodina thing and then kalendarinya like I lobola ito homuaner. So lobola in
mali.
Se sukomble so sa ite ba mali bangwan ba fi ba nga ite bina mali. So but we're saying it's culture, okay? So it means it has evolved. Now we don't even pay cash.
So we must allow culture to be dynamic and not stop it.
Yeah, you can't stop it.
Because I would tell people already, yeah, monulo betolo already makako eko Facebook. I'm like, akere khale be utla ba nerebe ya mo king ke sebata go mo ba be mo polling ya motlhaba
lady word of mouth and then
yes, akere ke someone would say if Facebook na yo pala le ya
that's a form of communication.
Yeah, it's a form of communication. And I would tell people, yeah, people don't have respect. Why do you, guys, what is the right platform to communicate? Because no one on radio,
that's when they will,
we will read out people who have passed on. They do it in a respectful manner with a music
that's true.
That we've regarded
listen
as,
to Ghana alone.
that music is not, you can't play that music in a club. So it was in a respectful way.
Even the newspapers came. And
there was session blocked in newspapers where that thing is done. So don't be resistant to change. Culture is dynamic in its nature, and let's welcome it when it changes. The problem is when people want to accept certain changes, but reject others. So now as we speak, someone told me, because I was dealing with Tabaya Mujaji a lot. Someone told me, someone is using his proximity to the king.
Okay.
Yeah, to collect money for the initiates, and he was charging 500 per initiate, and he started giving me numbers, and I got worried. And I mean, those are huge numbers that the person gave me.
Yeah, when we have to,
Yeah, so he says the person they allege was collecting money on behalf of the regent or the king or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, the Mujaji matter. We don't know who I will be referring to as of now. So he was doing it on behalf of. So he's taking that card, because it's not paperwork. It's just, you can't question someone coming from the royal house. Yes, whether this money, there's a card, of course, we want to buy a card and stuff. So, but I just sat and thought, is it for culture? Number one, is it for financial gain? Is it bajakayona? So the reason I'm stating this is the same way I state when people are doing, we don't want spaza shops. So I make them aware that you are aware that this is a $1 million entity.
Industry or something.
Yes, you see, this thing in itself, this cultural thing of doing this, has huge economic spin-off and economic players whose time to eat has come. Because remember, you would have waited for your father to pass on, you becoming donor, you are supposed to eat. And then someone says, no, cut this thing. You understand? You are affecting people's...
And also agree that's what people were killing each other because you want to ascend the throne.
There are people who do not work because during that winter, this is when they eat. And in a way, it's a self-paying system while they're preserving this culture. It's almost like Baruti. They collect Sunday money, but they are giving a service to their congregants. So in finding this balance and not antagonize these people who are pastoral custodians, what is the best way of doing this?
Well, for now personally, I think it still serves a value, but we will have to look at how we do it, especially the age issue. For me, it's a serious concern.
Yeah.
So I would prefer over a specific age, let's say maybe 18 years or so, then you can go there. At least you are now matured, you can think for yourself. You are not easily influenced by what you see happening around you. So Yona, it still serves a value. As a man, that's where you would actually agree with Afrikaners. They will take you to military camps. They still do some in that. Basically, it's just to build your character, and then you learn how to survive, how to stand for yourself, how to stand on your own, how to protect yourself and your family. So those values are very important as a man to learn. So, but the problem for me is the age. And the issue these things are on TV, are everywhere.
Yes.
People know there's so many documentaries of what's happening there. They even show you, hey, Modi video, we do this. So you can't stop it.
So there's no secret.
No, there's no secret.
You can't save this culture by using words like, hey, it's secretive. Rather, people already know, save this culture and save a human's life. You know, there are a lot of kids who
so
are
now
dying.
it's even better. They sent the medical doctors to come and monitor, and so it helps because people were dying in the name of culture. But I think it's better. My concern is only on that age. Especially with girls as well, it's a serious concern because it leads to pregnancy. Now it's worse, it's STIs and all.
So there are cultures who do not have a girl.
I've not heard of it unless I think the Zulus, Xhosas, they do have, but I don't know with the women. Maradiko thing. So with women, I don't know. But ZB Nabaya, ZB Ron.
Yes.
That's even Black JD.
And Bushback Ridge.
And Bushback, they are cultural as well. They are cultural.
Yes.
There, Pela,
they call it Lip 13.
There's a mark there.
There's a mark. Ish. I saw there's this girl on social media who had those slices, jumbo, slices. Yes.
That's why we are marked. You can anybody can see it. But even Bapedi, I had as makoti.
Yes.
If you said Zwika, I would do little basati, especially on melato.
Oh.
Inkwenkwe bohlokwa. Ke tseba matebele a mo bo mohlanga bo kwa ha ka mona he monna sa tswe kwa a monna o le mkhonyana o leng a o selo o ka se nne le banna because a o tswe komi.
Yes.
Such things. So it shows the importance in most setsong sa rena gore it was valued very high. But my problem ke ona e o ka gore ho itse bana ba 13 14 ha bua o itse monna or when you experience monna and then bana le matlhapa, like they don't respect their parents. Agre le papa o mona o no bona ke ntwe ba o ruta yona or bona. So such things, these are the disadvantages of in the name of culture, but I don't know how we can solve it.
So you do say it's important, it must be carried out, but they must look at the time that this thing happens. So
because
after 16, 17,
so yes. Normally at 18 at least, then maybe for high school, and then maybe that 3 months or so you can go there. So it's only matured. Okay. Yes. So at that age, for me personally, I think you are at the right age as a guy, and then as a girl, you are at the right age, at least 18 and above. For me personally, so I don't know.
The amount of boys who are unalived in the mountains, in the bushes, every year. Had it been another race, this thing the intervention would have been immediate.
No, but this one won't, because I got majority is as black people. And we say you have a right to practice your culture, no matter if it kills you or not. It's like these religious Christian churches that they would feed people grass and snakes and doom. They said it's their right.
But this one is different because number one,
death.
The death is not reversible. When a child has passed, it's irreversible. And it's very difficult to console someone who had willingly participated. The second part of which is even more dire. Someone can kidnap a child and take him up the mountain and force a family that is poor
You have to pay
to
for
go and pay. These things are not cheap, because someone talks about 5,000 in everything that's involved. So a poor family who does not even want to participate. You see, I can understand those who want their kids to participate. If my son runs there, those people, they say they can't take him back. They can't say go back. They will say, okay, it's fine. And then they go and send a message to your family that your son has forced himself here and you have to pay. You see, that's the problem.
That has happened.
There's
a lot
no consent there.
In Bergen, Eastern Cape, we have seen a lot of cases such as those mushrooming initiation schools, and they will kidnap people. But even when we were growing up, there would be such cases. They would hire people in the village.
Yes.
So if they find you in the
if
bush,
the school does not have numbers, then you send kidnappers.
Yes,
and
that's
because they're doing it culturally.
for money.
You cannot
But
prosecute them.
it's because of the money issue.
Because it's the man.
So that's why even they take everybody age 10, 11. Logically, they should turn you back to you come when you're this age. But I'm thinking this is 2000 that I'm turning away. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they have to take you before someone takes you.
Yes.
So but generally in one particular area, I don't want to say village because there are a cluster of villages, right? In one, is it a kingship or in donorship, only one Koma is allowed.
Yes. In most, in Limpopo mostly, the same sequences one you find 5 or so such things. But for example, maybe in Bungeni you'd find it's only one school, or you go to Kwaha, it's only one school. But it happens it depends on the villages. So you find that in Duna Koshike one, then there's different villages, so they have their own initiation schools. But so they will bring all the guys to the chief.
Okay. And do we have, in your knowledge, successful prosecution of people who are breaking the law?
No, from my understanding and observation, and from what I've read and heard, it's rare that these guys are even prosecuted. It's rare, yet people died.
So someone said, so of course he doesn't support. So he said the problem with these things is it's easy. You can premeditate a family's hardship. What you can do is you can go, and I'm using words that will not get us
in trouble.
You can go and snatch someone's offspring. You place that offspring inside the school, and because the offspring is inside the school, then you can choose to do away with that offspring, all of which will culturally protect you. Because number one, they could just say, because remember what they used to say. They used to say, if that happens, that the student didn't make it out.
Ulwaluko Koma.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Let me put this way. You'll correct me at the end. If the child did not make it out when the other are coming, then they will throw something at the roof of the family. It's an indication that yours did not make it. And some others say, maybe they might point you at a shallow grave if you are lucky, but they may not even show.
Because they
you
ban
understand?
everything.
Working forensics, postmortem, all those things will be hidden. You understand what I'm saying now? So how difficult this thing is, because someone can just plot for you. I mean, even if you don't want to participate, someone can just come and snatch, plant it, and undo it there. And then
they're performing the rituals with you.
You understand?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's why it has been abused. The
Yes.
culture has been abused to benefit specific people or to cause harm and all that in the name of culture. But yeah, what can we say? Because they say you have the right to practice your, but then how do you regulate it?
Yeah.
So that it doesn't get abused. That's another question.
I remember during bolwetse bola ba mokgohlane ba malobanyana.
COVID.
Yes, I'm deliberately not wanting to call it. You think we are free as podcasters? We are not. During that disease of coughing, what was happening was, if someone asks you, Emuna, utlwa o hlaba ntho ela na?
Vaccine.
O ska e berekisa.
Wena ba ka so tshwae molato.
Ba tshwae rena kaofela. Don't use those words.
Okay.
Yeah, utlwa o hlaba ntho ela na? You know, it's something like, why do you ask me? You understand? Why do you understand?
Want to know.
Why do you want
it's a personal thing.
Because yeah, it becomes personal thing. You want to ask me so you can judge me so and do what? It's almost like that now, because when we speak about this topic, you ask someone or we look at having. So whenever we're going to debate, you say, well, of course you are. You understand? So because even during the coughing period, the mask period, people were speaking about line that suits them. Does it offend you as a cultural activist when someone asks you, did you go to the mountain or did you go to hospital?
No, for me, no.
It's not
I don't know, maybe I'm built different, but for me, there's nothing that offends me. Because what you think of me, or it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I answer what I choose to answer.
Yeah.
So there's this guy called Steve Biko. Do you know that book he wrote? I write what I like.
Yeah. So, and I'm not going to ask you. So I just want to say, is it proper to approach someone in that spirit? You want to ask, is it a sign of disrespect if someone asks? Because I know there's a phrase, yasipedi, and then you say khomo yaswa, and then the other one says egamakema, and then the conversation starts, and then you start reciting your poems and stuff. So I mean, I'm thinking if someone comes to me and say such things, I would first want to understand, because essentially what the person is doing is testing your manhood.
Yeah. Yes. Those who come from prison, they have this number.
Exactly.
So they would say something. The way you respond will.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a mark off. So every time someone would do something like that, and then you get worried. So I'm just asking whether it's a normal conversation or someone even told me that as a man, you see when you are bearded, no one must touch your beard. Who must touch the beard?
I can comment on the beard. But also no, it's a serious offense.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have a right to say even a single word about it.
Yes.
Yeah. We get that a lot.
Yes.
And then they go level like, yeah, then I have my own views about you.
But I'm keeping them.
Yeah, I'm keeping them to myself.
Yes.
And if I were to say it. So yeah, it is a very sensitive topic. Yes. I agree we grew up, okay, Narsa Hola,
yes.
So it was for old people, the chiscop. So we do the perm and all that.
Yes.
So but then they came Siboma 2000 upwards, then so it becomes normal. So you look like, so you'd get those offensive words. Are you Shembe? Are you Nigerian? Are you, I want such things. So this is what we go through.
So, and then another thing is Kima Muslim.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you all of these questions. At what line do you do you say, guys, don't do this? There's this lady who was complaining to me. She's an acquaintance of mine. She says her husband is a bodybuilder.
Okay.
So she says to an extent that men would even females, strangers, whether they are sitting in the family moment or maybe they're just talking, they would even go like this.
We want to feel,
Yes. And it's women who are harassing her husband.
And you are with that person.
Disrespecting her when she's there. And and I just want you to understand how uncultured people get to some stage.
True.
Yes.
I have a friend, Marina Gumanya.
Yes.
She's muscular.
Sure.
So she would get comments from, mostly she's approached by girls, surprisingly. Men
we want
they are
to
intimidated by that.
Yeah, but more than that, I think at the back of their mind, we've been cultured to say it's not that time. Now when we grew up, we wanted something, but old people would grab kids. Yes, and I've read this culture. How it came and stuff. But it's one of those things that South African men have understood, it's no longer right, it's no longer correct. One of the things that I'm also battling with is when an acquaintance has a bum, I can't help but that's one of the things that I'm learning to, because it's all for me. It feels like it's almost I want to hold the baby.
Yeah.
So, but it's just something that as humans, as we evolve, we start to understand. Okay, these are no-go areas, and.
Yeah, based on these times that we are living in, because I got a colleague, for example, walking half naked, but
Yes.
it was normal for them. It was nothing sexual.
Yes.
You wouldn't be aroused by Matwela Musad.
Yes.
But now it's something
Yes.
else. So such things, it was normal, it was nothing sexual.
Yes.
But yeah, now.
But now we got rid of it. So now, this culture, we agree it's needed. We've also seen the two worlds embracing each other. The medical, the professional medical services
The
would
traditional.
then be able to go in and do their checkup and stuff. In the beginning, the staunch traditionalists were saying, no, they must not come and interfere. But the death toll just kept warning them, or no, you are doing things incorrectly. Yes, you could have been doing it in the previous, but these infections are
too much
you
now.
guys are just clumsy. Let's sterilize these things and stuff. And then it started improving.
Was it Eastern Cape? So hence they see a lot of death that side compared to the Limpopians and stuff.
Yes.
Because this is the infections, it's terrible. It's hot.
Yes.
Yeah, so such things, man. But it helps what you're saying to have medical doctors there and nurses, male nurses to monitor. So it does help. It reduces the death toll.
So let's go to the second one. We spoke about the rite of passage for women. And then in the Nguni culture, they have ukuhlola, a very important cultural practice. It could also be regarded as one of those rites of passages, because before a marriage is consummated, the elders would need ukuhlola,
to make sure we're marrying
intombi vele lengishadayo. By that, I mean marriage was this sacrosanct ceremony of the whole community, and it had to be verified that indeed the person is correct. You spoke about how culture is dynamic. Now, whenever that is supposed to happen, they say lobola is excused No, it's maintained, but the other part, virginity, is ignored. So, meaning or in culture, we kept what was benefiting men, and no, we kept what was benefiting females. Yeah, so. And people are complaining about this, so I just want to understand. Give you a chance, yeah.
True. Virginity was very important before we marry you. As most cultures, and our prefer hormonal virgin, and then that's why in cases where you have kids, or on a even your lobola would be very low. Okay. And then also in our culture, normally you would leave your child umushakamu lekuku.
Yes.
When our Thoma, because you expect
family.
Yeah, you expect that or nakamo. So if you are lobola leona, even though the khomutsela na re lebella pele virginity, of course it means the khomutsela there would be more. Whereas if you are only virgin, then amount would be lesser. And also you will have those issues. So if you have kids, they have to basale ko high. Or then the adoption would be another part. Maybe we had different roles. So a man, you would be a provider, a leader, would have to provide for your family dijo, swakudya ifane ikota ku feeda ndyangu wa wena, ya hlota, erima, and then physically as well, security wise, you have to protect your family. So we had different roles. Basadi le bona, their roles were to keep the home, but clean the chores tsa ka mo hae go lema go tlhagola go masimong, and then also hodisa bana. So we needed each other for survival. So a man was important, a woman was important, but kamikarle hanya ka yona switching, because a woman is well off. She has a career woman. Now, I don't need security for what? I can hire lawyers. I can hire you as a lawyer if I need protection. I'm dealing with legal issues. I can hire my own personal security. I have money. I have my properties. I can pay for my own things. Good example. Yeah, basically. So yeah. What do you need a man for? If that was the role of the man. Because if the role is to provide, and when are way above that man, so what do you need him for? If it was for security, then you see the times have changed. So we also have to relearn what we were taught about what is a man.
So if woman pressure given to the modern men or the modern society in general has now declared not only Uguhlola, has now declared even Magadi as a form of oppression to an extent. Being a virgin does not matter and does not need to be maybe put in par. If you're a virgin, you not earn. So I'm using a wrong word.
Status.
So I want to say it in a respectful way. If you are, so the shortest way is whether you've got 5 kids, married with 5 kids, or you are virgin, the amount must be the same.
And that way, not.
That way. So they would say whether you are educated, you are a virgin, and someone who's got 5 kids who's not educated, who does not have any skill, and they bring that. So, do you think feminism has put pressure on these 2 types of women to be treated the same?
I think so, but it doesn't happen like that.
Should it be like that?
No, it can't be. Because
do you
if we are going in a cultural, to say this is culture, then if it's culture, then culturally I must marry a virgin. Yeah. Yeah. So, but then because we understand things happen, so hence culture can be able to also welcome these other ones, Babanan Lebana, and also those who lost their virginity. But of course, the scale because of that issue. But also now, that's why we send uncles to negotiate and so on, because we also look at your educational level and all that. We consider them, because what value are you bringing to the family? Because culturally, the values, culturally, that's what we should, when we bring you, that's what we want you to achieve. Yeah? So that's why Xhosa after a year or so, the bottom of which is your honey.
Yeah, so I will he not up aloi. He's in big trouble. Notably is in big trouble. So what had happened is this week claims ya gore o katile I don't know the full story. I'm just going to give you what was in front of me. O katile his girlfriend. It could be a lie, but these two people never, because social media posted the photo together, and then never jola.
So it shows they were dating, yeah.
Yes. Like I say, I apologize. I could be missing the facts because I did not follow the story to the T. But apparently, he's in trouble because case Ibutwi, and then Ray Budwa case Ela. It happens in a week that feminists in South Africa are celebrating the suggestion to an amendment or something like that. But in essence, it says conclusive consent before intercourse is engaged into. Because if oka robala le motho I am, even if the person did not say no, oka tshwarelwa tronkong wa tswalelwa. And the reason I'm using this opportunity to speak about it is because we're speaking about this thing. Penwell, I listened to Penwell explaining it.
The black pen.
The black pen. Penwell says, and you know, and it's unfortunate, Penwell doesn't put it the way it suits Nalwen, and I'll explain why Penwell doesn't do that. So Penwell talks about how you should seek full, he says full consent by, oh, in fact, we need to hit together. Yeah, but I'm not going to take you home without telling me home, this is what is going to happen. Please type a WhatsApp or so I can have the text in case something happens. So let me tell you something. This talk that he has, I remember in my old Facebook days, Surprise will tell you on YouTube, on Facebook, we used to discuss such things, to say the way this thing comes, it will force men to protect themselves, to have consent in writing, to say, but I know, and I could be wrong, you will tell me, women do not like it to come forward to say, yes, I give you consent. But say it's like boring.
It's a commodity
yes,
object.
It's boring, it's blah, 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 blah. So it's going to get to a stage that women will only go for men who do not want them to sign this consent. But it will work both ways for women. What it would then do, it will then, after they did, then they've got power over you.
That's true.
You
but
understand?
This is tricky
but
if you're dating.
Let me finish it because I want you to understand where Penwell comes from. Penwell says it as if we are unlike him. He's a celebrity. It will be more women who want him. And then he will say, okay, the condition will be this. A normal man on the street is a hunter. So a cheetah can say to Impala, so sign here on the sand that you are crossing here and you are going to be chowed. Because the man is generally the one who's hunting. So even if the impala wants to be eaten, let's be honest, the impala is not historically and culturally known to say, come and eat me, even if she wants to be eaten. One understand that? So that's why it's going to be difficult. But then he also went further, because he also went further to say, make sure that it's the female who's on top on the first round. That's what Penwell says. But then, and all of those things that he said, it made me feel, you know why? Because even all those SMSs, the woman being on top of the first round and everything, do you know why it doesn't matter? She can say, yes, initially I wanted, but at the end I did not want. Do you understand that you are still not protected?
No, it's tough.
You are still not protected. And he spoke of many incidences, but I just want you to put on how, I know maybe may not be exposed to this story, please go and check it, but how does that make you feel? Because now they're saying now there's going to be more convictions, and Penwell was warning of Majida. And so I want to tell you, and I want to tell Penwell, there's exactly nothing a man can do. Intercourse, you see, me sitting with you, we might be, how do I put it, certain females, just by talking about this. So others will say, cancel him. Those who've got power over us is those who have had sexual relations, because they can say, in 2010 when I slept with Fumani, he actually wasn't a consented
and
transaction.
Those things that do happen. Eh?
Whether you win that thing or not, you are painted.
We see that with lots of celebrities. Like,
yes.
Who take case one? Like, they will 10, come 20 after that.
Yes.
2009, this is what happened.
Yes.
So where were you all these years?
Yes. So I want to ask you as a cultural activist to say, how does that make you feel? Is this a division between African men and women widening, and this thing getting weaponized against the males?
No, it is.
How does it make you feel?
Used or abused by lots of women, because remember, there are a lot of men in jail because of such. Well, I'm from Hamaskral. I think I must highlight that part. Yeah, so this way Mavuso started.
Yes.
So automatically, if you don't give the lady cash in the morning, guaranteed there will be a police van.
And the police know.
Yes,
the police know
in the payroll of this lady.
Yes, they know they're gonna,
yes,
on that 500, they're gonna get something.
Yes.
And if you were seen wearing a ring, it moves to 1.5.
I've heard guys calling their families and friends, guys, but I remember some, you cheating. So they see, he's even married, bloody hell.
The extortion goes high.
Because you have a lot to lose.
Because they don't see
your
it
family,
as extortion.
if knows, you can lose your job just by being accused. If your employer finds out, you might lose your job. You might lose your wife, family. So it has always been used as a weapon.
Yes.
So now it's tricky if you are dating, like the case you is dating now. Because you're dating, then who then prove? Because you can wake up and maybe you fight and she decide, I'm even going to use that.
And you know what was, Penwell says, it got to a stage where the lady, she's the one that undressed herself. So you can imagine how, because this case is going to be, because like I say, it happened in this week and this landmark thing just happened now. So you can understand when both happen in the same time, people are then watching to say, now we are going to test this new landmark case on to celebrities. I want to tell you something. This thing hardly happens to in the white community. GBV cases, they do happen, but they are hardly reported and they are hardly publicized in the white community. It always happens to us. Especially it's always a weapon given to African females to hammer who? The black male. Yeah. And when we talk about it, See, now I'm talking about it. I'm already making certain females angry, and I might become a victim just because I said so.
Now it's trick.
Yeah. So.
But as men, does the same applies to us? If you feel you have been forced, oh, can you wake up and say, this lady actually forced me?
You can.
While you are dating, you're in a relationship.
You can.
But how do you prove such things?
That's exactly where I'm going. You are not going to get public sympathy, and in the nature of and the culture of our jurisprudence is not aligning to that. You see, I'm a journalist. There's something that we call man bites dog. So when man bites dog, it's a headline. But when dog bites man, it's understandable. So
it's like the physical abuse
yes,
that man has to endure.
Yeah,
Some
if
men.
you enjoy it, you go and report, you're going to come out second best. Because they're going to not only ridicule you, your whole entire family will be seen as weaklings. And even worse now, you'll be seen as you are jealous of that lady you want to reverse GBV her. You understand? But being there as it may, and in closing, in closing, utshwere eng mo that you came with just to come and discuss with our audience.
All right. Well, ni xavisa tibuku ta Xitsonga. Yin'wana ya tibuku hi leyi ya hosi Mhlava wa Vankuna, n'wina va ka Nkuna va Xipalani va Xingange, va Mboweni va Maxele. Buku leyi khomi matimu ya va ka Nkuna, tihosi kusuka kwala masungulweni va hosi Xiluvani va hosi Mhlava, yi detaila matimu ya vahlave va ka Nkuna. So kuna tin'wana, kuna buku ya ka Maluleke leyi tlhantlhaka swa matimu ya van'wanati va ka Maluleke, tihosi ta vona na la a va tshama kona, na ndhavuko wa rixaka kumbe nyimba leya van'wanati. Then ku va na leya swivongo.
Papila ku ri i tsariwe hi Xitsonga.
Ya, ti tsariwe hi Xitsonga tibuku leti. Leyi ya swivongo yi na swiphato, buku leyi yi na swiphato swa mindyangu, va ka Maluleke, va ka Manganyi, va ka Mabunda, swivongo swa Vatsonga. I ta kuma swiphato swa kona la na matimu na genealogy ya mindyangu yo karhi. Ivi ku va na leya Mandla Mathebula leyi tsariwe hi Xilungu ku nga 800 years of Tsonga history. So na yona yi tlhantlha matimu ya Vatsonga, yi va yi tsariwile ku from 1200 to year 2000. So la ku yi tlhantlha na tihosi ta Vatsonga, matimu ya lava humaka kona lava tshama kona, ku fika hi lembe ra 2000. Yi tsariwe hi Xilungu, 800 years of Tsonga history. Ku va na leyi ya Tolo a nga ha vuyi ya Freddy Rikhotso leyi tlhantlha hi ndhavuko wa Vatsonga, leswi a va mbala swona khale ka khaleni, leswi a va dya swona, leswi a va endlisa swona swilo ku katsa ku katsa tingoma, ku phahla, loko i lovola wansati, loko i feriwini i endla yini, swilo swo fana na sweswo. Ndhavuko wa Vatsonga i wu kuma kwala ka buku leyi ya Tolo a nga ha vuyi ya Freddy Rikhotso, na yo yi tsariwe hi Xitsonga. So hi xavisa tibuku na ta vana va xikolo na ti-dictionary na swikipa leswi swa Xitsonga, xin'wana xa xona hi xona lexi nga mbala lexi, na majesi na byala lebyi bya very Tsonga, tiwayini. Right, hi swona leswi hi xavisaka swona ka Chaiza Beauty. Kokwana swin'wana hi ku ta tlhantlha.
A wu na swikhafuthini swin'wanyana?
A hi ku ta vulavula yini xin'wana? Hey, liya ya Machangani, mukhalabi lexi a le batho, mukhalabi maxiyani man. Ya, hey, Tabela.
A ni lava ku
Batho va lava vo lena
ka swivongo swa Machangani. Ku ri va koho Machangani.
Hi so.
Mara ku na Vatsonga.
A ku na mara. Okay, nge hi hlamusela so.
Vatsonga i rixaka leri nga vumbiwa hi tinxaka to hambanahambana na tinyimba. Hi nga va hi hlaya Vatonga, Varhonga, Vakharanga, Vahlave, Vadzonga, Vacopi, Vabila, Van'walungu, Vaxika, Valambya ni Siyavamani, Vatswa, Vahlengwe. I rixaka leri i tinxaka leti vumbaka rixaka leri ra Vatsonga. Vanhu lava na tindzimi ta vona hi katsa na vo Machangana hi va hlaya ka rixaka ra Vatsonga. So vanhu lava na tindzimi ta vona leti katsaka Xitsonga, Xitswa, Xirhonga, Xihlave lexi vulavuriwaka hi Vankuna, Vahlave va ka Nkuna halaya Vatsaneni, Xin'wanati kumbe Xiluleke, ku na Xibila, ku na Xihlengwe and so on. I tindzin'wana kumbe i tindzimi ta rixaka leri ra Vatsonga. Se un'wana a vutisa ku na ku hambana ke ka Vatsonga na Machangana, leswo okay. Se a ku na ku hambana. Machangana i vavulavuri va ririmi ra Xitsonga. Machangana va dyondza Xitsonga xikolweni, va hlaya Xitsonga, va tsala Xitsonga. Se hence hi va vitana ku i Vatsonga hi mhaka ya ririmi leri. Na vona va pfumela ku hi vavulavuri va ririmi ra Xitsonga kambe Machangana. Se hi ririmi leri hi va katsa ka ntlawa kumbe ka mitlawa leyi vumbaka rixaka ra Vatsonga, Machangana. Ani? So ku hambana before Gazankulu hi loko lava a va tshama hala before mindzilikanyo ti-border a va ti vitana ku i Vatsonga after ku establishiwa ka language leyi ya Xitsonga hi va 1885 a ni ri ti-missionaries. So lavaya a va fumiwa hi Nghunghunyane Mdungazwe, Lion of Gaza, ke kgoši lava ya Machangana again, Mozambique, but it was before the borders. So he won about the Machangana. But who are Machangana? Machangana are descendants of the Ngunis from the Ndwandwe, the soldiers that came. I get the Ngunis. Kambe van lava fike ba fuma kumbe ba hlula ivi ba fuma rixaka leri va nga ri kuma kwalaya. Anir rixaka leri i Vatsonga leri va nga va hlula Varhonga, Vandhawu, Xhosa and so on. Na Vahlave anir lava a va tshama halaya. Se va endla rixaka va ku i Machangana. Va vulavula ririmi leri ra Xitsonga leri rixaka leri. Kambe ku sa va fumiwa hi Mngoni Mdungazwe, Lion of Gaza, va ku i Machangana. Kambe Xhosa loyi a ti vitana Mchangana na Xhosa loyi hala South Africa kumbe ngeni kwa le Xipilongo wa le Elim va hambana ku hi ku sintila wa vona i un'we i vanhu van'we. Ku va ku loyi i fumiwa hala, loyi i fumiwa hala. Na ke tswa Mathibe Stata ke ba Hwaduba. So ke ipitsa mo Hwaduba ke le Mathibe Stata. Again. So my brother Mbombocha Sem Mabunda va le Bushbuck Ridge. I Mabunda ni Mabunda. Ntila wa hina i un'we. Kokwani wa yena Butiseme Inyabani Imbalati. Hi loyi a nga ta na va Shiluvani va ya la Tsanini va nga fikela tikweni ra Balobedu. Hi vona the first people ku tshama liwani. So swi vula ku munhu hi Seme kokwani wa yena a nga ri Muchangani ku i balekini le a tala. Anir hi va 1836 kwala ya. A nga lavani ku va Muchangana. So Seme i va Muchangana njhani if kokwani wa yena a nga ri Muchangana? I baleki Vuchangani a ku me a la ku wela hala va tsutsuma na Vankuna va tala va fika va akala. So but Seme i tshama a Bushbuck Ridge i fumiwa hi hosi Nxumalo. So Seme i Muchangana a ni ri fumiwa hi Nxumalo hi ku ya la a tshamaku kona. Kambe na ye i Mutsonga hi i muvulavuri wa ririmi ra Xitsonga. Se a hi hambani Machangana na Vatsonga. Officially the merger happened when they formed the Gazankulu. To say we are one nation. But before that, we were still related. Same is Mabunda, Mabunda. Whether is led by King or Chief Numalo, and I'm led by Bungeni Mabunda. We are the same. So there's no difference between
in
the
short
two.
and in closer. Because the Shangans who left the northern KwaZulu-Natal areas into Mozambique, who were the warriors. They got there because they did not conquer all the tribes of Vatsonga. They were confined in one place, and even after the attempt to conquer, they could not even bring their own language. They ended up speaking the language of the people they claimed they were conquering.
Yes, they abandoned their language and traditions. They adopted.
Because they did not come with women. The mother tongue persisted. So that's why we have Amashangane, those who want in that little pocket, who want to be called Amashangane, and the other tribes who speak Xitsonga could not be conquered. And this is why we have Amashangane and Vatsonga. That's the long and short of it, because you said it in Xitsonga. I want to brief it for people.
And
so basically that's
also geographically, Vatsonga votala bangwan abare haleni, like that side of Soutpansbeck, the Elims and stuff, that area, the Shipilongo area, the Guyani, and the other section of Mpumalanga. You would find the Xhosa and the Mnisi, ko Mapulani kwa. Mapulani ke bo Xhosa ke bo Mnisi. Mashangani found those people there. The Mashangani migrated after the throne of their king or chief, let's say king, Mdungaswe, the Ngungunyana. They started migrating after that.
And they found...
So they found that land there. That's why Kubush Bakrel Gukai. So it's not a Shangan land. They found it there. They found people there. They were migrating. But already Vatsonga were here. Okay. So there are those who ran after this Mashangani came, like the Vahlabi of the Nkuna and Mabunda and the Xhosa, some. They ran around 1836 and so to settle Koba feeling lefatseke mojaji. Okay. So it bontsha gore batho ba ke khale ba le kamo ba bang vele bo Mukhari bo Shilumane. They've been here before a long time, before the Amashangan. So, but the Amashangan initially came as a group now to settle or the family members of the Agri-Koshi Salvaitswara. So that kingdom was abolished. So they ran to Mapulani. That's where they settled.
Thank you very much. He's going to use this to explain further and further again, because he keeps explaining what he's saying. Fumani 1 said it, Fumani 2 says it, Ntsako says it, and I mean, even I can understand the basics. I mean, like I tried to explain the basics in English, and this is the fundamental. So those who still want to call themselves Amashangane, they are not stopped. Those who want to call themselves Vatsonga, they are not stopped. Machine politically incorrect. Thank you.